Welcome to Coachify, a podcast where we have moving conversations for expats with a coaching mindset on everyday topics. We bring helpful concepts closer to you so you can use them in your everyday life. I am Reka, a life coach working with expats, focusing on change management and resilience. My mission is to help you discover the most magical, enchanted you, to find your own path so you can walk confidently and consistently towards your goals. You can connect with me via Instagram, Facebook, or my website, The Enchanted You. These will all be linked in the episode notes for you. Today, my guest is Anita, who is also a coach, but she's so much more than that title. Welcome, Anita, and thank you for joining me.
Hello, welcome. Thank you very much. And I'm really touched by the thought that I am so much more than a coach.
Yes.
I do believe I am, and it is more like a profession that I'm exercising. And I always call myself a human being who is just serving fellow human beings. And I'm working with leaders, students from different backgrounds, different industries. Whoever finds me, I believe I'm always found by the people who need me. And
Definitely. I
yeah,
agree. Yeah.
and I experienced this for more than 7 years now. And I'm also teaching coaches. I'm a coach trainer, mentor coach, and coach supervisor. So I am also supporting fellow professionals, and it is also a blessing. And my business called City Yogi Coaching, and it represents the peace, the wholeness within the chaos of the city. And I'm supporting my clients to experience this wholeness through the awareness.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for adding that because I believe it's a really interesting approach, and I think it's a really healthy approach, not just with coaching, but with everyday life and all our activities, to look at people as whole human beings. And I thought the introduction would fit you because, as far as I know, your more of a niche is ontological coaching. Can you tell me more about that?
Yes, it is a funny story actually because I never studied ontological coaching in school, but my mentor is a certified ontological coach, and we worked together for 2 years, like on daily basis. So I kind of like just got the perspective and all the knowledge of ontological coaching, and I am using it like the style, the approach. But I wouldn't call myself an ontological coach because in the end of the day, I don't have the certification. It's more like I am inspired by the ontological coaching. And now, yes, talk about what it is. Ontology means being, and therefore we are working with the whole being during the coaching. And we work in like 3 dimensions: the body, the language, and the emotions. And the overall goal is to bring coherence between these three. Because it happens that you have thoughts, you think about something, but your body finds something different, or you feel anger, but you speak in a kind way. That is not coherent. So we work on understanding what is going on in the body with the emotions, with the thoughts, and let's see how they can be coherent together. So in a nutshell, this is ontological coaching.
I really love that. And I think it's so important to make these different parts of ourselves align, especially in like our everyday running life. For example, at work, of course, you cannot always speak your mind, but it's so important to be aware of what's happening in you, not just in your mind, but also in your emotional level. Um, what's um, what's something which helps you keep that in your mind when you work with clients?
That's a very interesting question, and the word mind, what keeps it in mind, really like caught me. Like, how do I use my mind during the coaching sessions? Because
Yes.
of course I know a lot of things. I'm certified in a lot of things. I learned a lot of things, but still I would say the fundamental of the connection I have with my clients is more like my intuition. And I just follow the client. I hear, I I listen to the client, I hear what they say, I sense them, sense their nonverbal communication, the slightest energy shift. And as I am present and noticing these, and sometimes asking, okay, what happened with you? Your face changed. It already brings in the body, right?
Yes.
Or how does this make you feel? Already we are talking about emotions or what thoughts are arising from this scenario. Then immediately we are talking about the thoughts and we can check how they are related to each other. So I don't really remind myself. It is happening naturally, I would say. And the other thing I'm doing is that I am paying attention very much the assumptions, the assessments the client make. Because in those assumptions, when they are assuming something about their colleague or about their friend or about their partner, behind that, mostly there is a secret.
Yes.
So always pay attention, and that is also a little bit part of the ontological coaching, the mind part, the thoughts part, the inner narrative. Like, what is your narrative about the situation? What is your narrative about your challenge or whatever you are in right now? And just listen. That sounds like an assumption. That sounds like an assessment. Is this the reality, or it is only your view of life?
Yes, I love that question. Yes. And this question helped me so much. We moved countries recently. I'm from Hungary.
Yeah, me too.
Listener, yeah, we are both from Hungary, but we live in different countries. I am in Belgium and Anita is in the Netherlands. And I moved to Belgium this year, a few months ago. And during our last move with my partner, I needed to ask myself a lot this question: is this the reality, or is it my perception? Is this the reality, or is it just something I accepted as fixed or as real? And what you said earlier about the mind, like thoughts being different, the way you speak being different than what you actually feel, it really came up during this last move. And I think many expats could relate to it, that in my head I was so motivated to get here. In my head I was full of to-do lists. I was like focused, on point. Yes, we wanted to move. Let's do this will be good for us. These are the benefits. This is why we wanted to move. And inside, my emotions were about grief and sadness and a lot of anxiety and stress, and also like this loss of a move, which we oftentimes don't focus on because we want to focus on the exciting new part. And we needed to, I also have a coach, of course, and we needed to work with this difference a lot. But it took me a long time to actually realize that this is happening, and then I could work with that.
Yeah, and it's very interesting what you are saying, because when it comes to being an expat, then also cultural differences come in, and you have, and that's the main sentence of also ontological coaching, that you are a unique observer.
Yes.
And this observer is impacted by our cultural defaults, what we learned from family, friends, school, where we live for a longer time. And we arrive with that kind of an observer. And we see everything happens through those pair of eyes. And it is very easy to assume, to jump into conclusions too quickly when you are just like operating from your default setting, and rewriting, acknowledging, understanding these default settings, and understanding when it serves you and when it doesn't. It's crucial in any case, but I think for us experts, it's like another level.
Yes. And additionally to this, I think it's important to keep in mind that every move will be different. Before Belgium, I lived in the Czech Republic, and my move to the Czech Republic was completely different than my move to Belgium. I feel like I was more prepared to the move to Belgium, but still it surprised me much, much more than the first move, partly because of the cultural, how did you say that? Not experience, but like perception. I don't know what was the word you used,
Yeah.
but yeah, how I
The
experience,
default.
yeah, default, yes, yes, and the differences. And I'm really sure that my next move, because I know there will be more, will be also different experience and will be a shock in a different way, and I will need to align different emotions with different thoughts again.
Yes, definitely. Every situation is a new situation. You thought that, oh, I've been here, moving to another country,
Yes,
but yeah, it's all different.
yes. What is something, maybe a question or a thought you could give to those expats who are expecting to move soon?
I think you really made a very nice point, like expressing that it's okay to have grief, it's okay to have sadness and excitement at the same time, and don't fight against those emotions. And it's like, I think moving to a different country, it's like, I don't know, hurricane of emotions. And take your time, be patient with yourself, and let yourself experience it. And it's okay if you don't feel happy every day, or it's okay if you feel happy every day, because sometimes it's also like, oh, it's so hard, it's so difficult, but maybe for some people it's just not. And it's also okay. Everything is okay. Whatever happens, it's fine.
Yes, because it's about you. It's
Yeah.
your story, and yeah, I love that thought. Thank you. I want to ask you more about your experience because I know you also moved countries recently. What helped you get through these parts? How was moving for you? How was the cultural difference for you?
I am in a bit tricky situation because, yes, I moved to a different country. I set up my business in the Netherlands, but I'm still working with Hungarians. So basically, I kept all my clients, I kept my Hungarian practice. I am so grateful for them that we can continue everything online, even with the ones I worked in person. So it's a very interesting situation because I am in a new country, but during the day, I am still living the Hungarian life, speaking Hungarian all day. And at the same time, I want to build my practice in the Netherlands. And this is again so mixed. There is a lot of gratitude, there is a lot of passion, there is a lot of way to learn also about myself, like how I can enter a new market, because basically this is what is happening, and I must get out of my comfort zone, because whatever worked in Hungary not necessarily is working here. So much to explore. Overall, I feel very good here, and I was looking forward to coming here. We are kind of in a countryside place, and it's so green, so much nature. I am cycling a lot, and I grew up in the countryside of Hungary, so I also cycled to school and all these things. So it's not really new for me. It's more like getting everything good out of the Hungarian countryside and having it here. And it's so good to see those flowers I saw when I was a child last time, and all these things. And yeah, I notice people are kind, or this is how I perceive them at least, and very helpful and trying to solve problems. So overall, I am good, but it's been like half year, so maybe I will have different perceptions too in the future.
Oh yeah, it's always changing, I'm sure of that.
Yeah.
What helped you getting through the whole move process, the whole preparation, and then moving and then arriving process?
Um, What helped me, actually, we had a lot of time because my husband resignation time, that is the name, termination
Yes.
time, was like 3 months. So we had 3 months to pack our things, to arrange everything, to figure out everything, which was actually felt quite long by the end of the third month, especially because it was the winter, like December, January, February,
Yeah.
and every evening we were just packing and packing and packing, and I didn't know how do we have this many stuff. But of course, it's like the hope, the excitement that what is the curiosity that what is ahead of me, like even like those long cold winter nights, they help me like, okay, let's do this, let's pack, because something new is waiting for me, and I am consciously not using the something good, something new, and let's be curious, and let's just stay away from labels. Just let's take it as an experience, and we will see what it is, because sometimes in the moment we actually can't decide if something is good or not. It's just reveals maybe years later.
I love that thought that you wanted to stay away from the label good, and that you said that curiosity was actually leading you. I think it's really a good leader in times of change, in time of moving. We are often saying here that we will take the best of what we can of the situation,
Yeah.
because it's so different than the Czech Republic was, and it's not worse or better. It's just totally different, and we need to adjust a lot as well here. And yes, the curiosity part, I think it helped me as well a lot. And I think carrying that curiosity to your everyday, even after the move, even later when you're not planning to move again, or you're in your new country for 2, 3 years now, it still matters. It's still important to lead you through work situations, personal situations, everyday life happenings. Um,
Yeah, and it's also the fundamental in coaching, to be
yes,
curious, and maybe that's what keeps you young, to stay always curious, like a child. Just go and explore, and let's see what's behind that, but also without judgment. And then you can see that, oh my God, the world is so big, and so many things are out there. And if you have this pure curiosity, sometimes it feels like just you just attract people you can connect with, and you can learn from, and giving you very interesting perspectives.
I agree. I agree. Yes, this curiosity, it's a key element.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Wanted to ask you about your mindset shifts, because we talked about this aligning thoughts and aligning feelings and just this whole holistic approach. Did you notice anything that changed in your mindset during this time?
And during the moving, or since we had arrived here?
Actually, both.
Both.
I'm
Okay, it's
curious.
like okay. I just actually need time to reflect, because I think no one phrased this question to me before. So, but that's why it's good when you talk to coaches, right? You get time to think how my mindset was shaped. This is what you asked, right?
If it was, I don't know if it was, but I'm
Um,
curious how was the internal, mind
um,
change for you?
it was. I don't know if it changed so much during the moving process, but since we are here, I notice a lot more freedom in my being, the sense of freedom, and I feel like that I'm a lot more courageous to start a conversation, or go to a new place, or meet new people, and and I noticed a lot of like cultural patterns from Hungary, that yeah, it can easily happen that you are not nicely treated in a coffee place or a restaurant or something. And sometimes I am like, okay, just be careful so the waiter won't be rude to you. And here it's not necessary. They are just nice and normal to you. And these little experiences actually gave me a lot of freedom to be more myself and be less alert, how to navigate between people so they won't be rude to me. And as now I'm hearing myself that it might give a very bad expression on Hungary, but that's not my aim. Of course, there are kind people in Hungary and there are lovely, very nice people in Hungary, but I notice, especially in the service sector, I notice more rudeness in there than in here, for example. So I think that I noticed a little bit of like solution focus from people and like a general kindness. It also gave me the freedom, and I had to work on it that I don't have to approach different things with like fear or anxiety that what will happen and how they will treat me, because I know that they will just treat me normal. I
That's
don't know
a
why
really,
I'm
really
giving.
nice and unique touch. And actually, I can relate a lot.
Okay, thank you. I feel better now.
But I want to relate to, like, I want to tell you in comparison to the Czech Republic, because I left Hungary 5 years ago, almost. And from Hungary to the Czech Republic, I didn't have this big change or this feeling of my Hungarianness coming so much to the surface, because I feel like the Czech Republic was so much closer in culture to Hungary than how close Belgium is to Hungary or the Czech Republic. But now when we moved here, I notice it more and more, and almost every day I have this thought in myself, oh my God, I'm so Hungarian. Even yesterday I said this in a conversation, because there are just things, as you said, the approach, the cautiousness or the courage or how we react to things, which just come out, and you cannot control it because it's so deeply embedded in you because of your upbringing, because of your past, that it's just there. You can just notice when it's coming to surface, but you didn't even know it's there. And why I can relate to this courage or this treated in a way in coffee shops or service industry is because in Czech Republic, they are also really practical and solution focused, as you said. And it's not the kindness, at least in Prague, what leads them. And then we moved here, and we are also in a smaller place, in a smaller city in Belgium, and people are kind and polite. It's not that they are so sweet, and smiley and everything, but they are polite, so polite and helpful. And it was shocking at first. The first few weeks, we were like, okay, what's going on? Where did we end up? Because compared to Prague, which is obviously like the center of Czechia, it was so different. And I also noticed that I needed time to warm up to this situation, to this scenario, to this place. And at first, I went everywhere being nervous because of the language differences. I didn't practice French for like 8 years. I need to bring it back. Because of the language difference, because of the cultural differences, because I don't know yet how the system works. So even going to the shop or to the post office or going to the administration office, it was a huge stress for me. And I, looked upwards before, and I practiced and everything, the standard way of living an expat life. And then I had so good experiences that now this stress or like anxiety melted a little bit, and now I am going in the shop smiling, and I'm approaching with a more of an ease. So yeah, I think that's also a good lesson in discovering our hidden parts and
Yeah.
bringing them to surface, and then aligning them with our current self. Because yes, this is not the Hungarian me who was in the Czech Republic or who was in Hungary. This is a different layer of my personality, which I need to handle, which I need to align with my thoughts, with my expectations toward myself.
Yeah.
It's hard work.
It is, and reminding yourself that, hey, you don't need that anymore. And for me, that one thing that comes to mind, it was really shocking. We went to our general practitioner here just to like for an intake meeting. And we had to wait like, I don't know, I think 3, 4 minutes because we had an appointment. And the GP would come out, shake our hands, and apologize 4 times for the delay. And that was the time for me when I was like, where am I? It's like, of course, I don't want to go into the Hungarian healthcare system, but waiting only 3 minutes and then having an apology from the doctor, it's kind of for me a scenario I can't imagine that can happen. So and it's like these things just puts you in a completely different way of being.
Yes.
And the default, this is where the default comes. The default is there, it's working. You notice maybe the stomach ache, or you notice the fear, or you notice this being so strict because you don't know when you can be humiliated or when something bad, or this alertness. And when you notice slowly that, oh, that default is not necessary anymore. But it comes, so handle it. It's a work.
Yes. Yes. What can help other expats overcome this alertedness or this misalignment when they notice their old self or their another layer coming to surface, which doesn't align with their expectations of themselves?
I think the most important thing is the awareness to at least like understand what is going on, or even if you don't understand, see that okay, something is happening right now. And start to reflect on it, like what is happening, what is in my body, what is this telling me, what is this teaching me, how I am present in this situation, and what am I expecting from myself. Just like explore, sense yourself, like what is going on. And um, and then you will receive your answers, and try not to answer from your head, but answer from your soul, from your heart. Just the first thing comes to you, that's the right answer about yourself for sure. And if you build in this reflection, you will understand more and more things, and also ask yourself that, okay, if not this behavior that is serving me in this situation, then what else would serve me? And how far I am, how alien it is for me to behave in that way, or what do I need to reach, or what do I need to practice in order to reach that behavior or that way of being that would serve me here more. And it's really important that I'm not saying with this that you should just completely change yourself and just get the country's cultural defaults and become like them. It's not about that. And it's not about like giving up everything about yourself. It's about giving up things that don't serve you anymore. And I think there is a very huge distinction between these.
Yes, and that's so powerful, I think, to remind yourself of that, like to let go of the thing which doesn't serve you anymore. You don't have to let go of everything, and you don't have to start with a clean slate every time. You cannot even start with a clean slate every time, because every experience, every move will add to your personality, add to you. But yes, to observe what doesn't serve you. And that actually reminds me of something you said during our work together in the coaching course.
Tell me.
Yes, there is something you said, because I was in the class, you were giving the presentation, and there was that time for questions, and we asked something about an experience with a client, like, okay, what if I don't ask the right question, or what if I don't grab the right emotion, or whatever happens. I don't remember the question even, but I remember what you said. And what you said is, you didn't screw up, just another solution might serve the situation better. And I had it written down on a post-it note on my computer for a long, long time, but I still remind me of that after any mishap or things when I feel like I screwed up.
Oh.
Okay, you didn't screw up. Maybe another solution might serve the situation better. And I think it
Yeah.
did. this fits here really well.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm touched like from two ways. One of them is that it's like you are quoting me. Oh my God, what is happening? Second is that I don't remember this sentence. And I'm like, yeah, actually, that's right. And it still resonates with me. But that's the thing that it just came to me, flows through me. I give it to you. It is very useful to you. And that's why it's very important to listen to what is arriving to us and just say it and go with it because there is a lot of wisdom in it and it's like yeah, thank you, I'm really touched. Thank you.
Can you tell I'm a fan of you?
Oh no, don't do these things, please.
No, and it was years ago because yeah, when I was in coaching
Yeah.
training, it was years ago. Yes, but why I remembered it right now because it's still coming from you and you said something really, really similar. So it's obvious that it's still your approach, to observe and then not punish yourself, sort of. Let go of what is not serving you. Yes, I really like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like we spend so much time on punishing, and what's the point? Like during the time you are punishing yourself, you are just taking yourself away from actually processing the emotion or reflecting on what happened or finding other solutions or just letting go or let it be because you are busy punishing yourself and for who is it good if you are punishing yourself, right? Like you are not doing any good to anyone. Not that what happens won't change just because you sit on your couch and punishing yourself.
Yes. Yes.
And I know it sounds like so like obvious, duh, it's like that. But practicing it, it's another story. And it's also okay that if it's not working all the time. And the point is, I think, like not completely stop punishing yourself, but reduce the time of punishment and notice that, again, I am punishing myself. Okay, how do I shift this? What would serve me more than punishment right now? And you can reduce the time of your own punishment and you can notice earlier and earlier as your awareness is raising.
I really like that you gave another question to replace the original one. What could serve me more than the punishment? It's just not like, okay, this doesn't serve me anymore, bye. But what could be instead of that? And that's so aligned with the coaching mindset.
Yeah.
And yeah, having another question to focus on is really great. It's moving us forward. What happens when you caught yourself, you observed, you decided, okay, this doesn't serve me anymore. Okay, I don't want to punish myself, but I do not know what serves me better. How can I handle these thoughts and emotions, especially when they are not aligned? What can I do?
It's I don't think there is one answer for that. Like I would say, I think for everybody works something different. Like, okay, but I don't know what to do. I don't see what is the next step. For some people, they would, I don't know, listen to podcasts or watch some videos or read a book or talk to someone or whatever. For some people, it's just, I don't know, just completely switching off, doing some sport or watching something on Netflix or whatever. And for some people, it just comes immediately. So I don't think that there is one right answer for this question. In my experience, whenever I notice that something else should come, for me, it's very important to talk about it because I'm a reflective learner. So I reflect a lot, and this is how I learn new things. And sometimes it also stops me because sometimes I'm just reflecting on things for days and then I do it. And I could have done it days before, but I needed to reflect 3 more days on it. But I am aware of this. So it helps me a lot if I talk about it and reflect more on it, reflect that I'm speaking loudly. So it's good that I can share with someone. And by the time I finish my reflection, I mostly know how to shift it. That is my thing. But I know that not everybody is a reflective learner and not everybody is a talker. So maybe something else would work for you. I don't know what's work for you.
It was really interesting that you said you speak, you say it out loud, you say loudly. And what came to my mind is immediately standing in front of a mirror and talking to it. And that's really not my method. I mean, I love to talk it out with a friend or with my coach,
Yeah.
but for me, it's writing. Like if
Mhm.
I'm in distress, if I'm really stressed, or many things happened, or I had an argument or a fight with someone, I sit down, sometimes on my phone, sometimes on computers, sometimes on a notebook. I need to write it out. And I probably will never send it to anyone or delete it shortly after, but I write it out and just letting it all go, flow out of me through my hands. It's really helpful for me. And right now that I'm thinking of it, it's interesting that, for example, when I have dreams which upset me, or like situations which are more general or just more about me, I like to write on a computer because it flows more easily. I type with 10 fingers blindly, so it goes really fast.
Yeah.
But when it's about a connection with someone else,
Mhm.
I mostly write on paper, and it takes
Mhm.
time to put those words on paper, so much slower than my mind works. So sometimes, the anger already goes down or the stress
Yeah.
already goes down by the time I finish my little piece.
Yeah, that's right. And writing is really good, but that's why I'm not doing it too much. Exactly about what you said, that my mind is working a lot faster than my hand. And sometimes I'm like, no, 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 I have to say it. I have to say it. And I'm not talking to myself in the mirror. I mostly, my husband is the one who is very carefully listening to me. Bless him. Or a friend, or I also have a psychologist or another coach or a supervisor. It depends on the topic, of course. Like I have people for everything,
Yeah.
I would say. But yeah, journaling and writing is definitely a very good thing. And I think you pointed out a very important thing, that the anger, that very quick anger you receive in certain situations, if you like slow down your body, what happens inside you are quick, and by writing you are slowing your body down, and it starts to harmonize with your emotions, basically.
Yes, yes. And I know myself well enough to know that my anger spikes really fast. Or it's not like anger like I'm like, oh, I want to punch someone. It's more like I'm really upset and
Yeah,
I feel it in my stomach, and it spikes really fast. And then when it goes down, I'm completely chill, and it goes down really fast as well. So
yeah.
I know if I just stop a little bit, then it won't make any harm to to my feelings, my thoughts, or anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's important to understand the root of that anger, because I also react with anger in some cases. I reacted even more before I started to work on myself, and then and that's where the body comes in. You feel the anger in your body earlier than you can say that, okay, I'm upset now. You feel somehow, for me it's the stomach area that gets
Yeah, same.
activated, and when I feel this, that the stomach is activated, I'm asking, okay, what is happening right now? And mostly I have an answer, that what is happening right now is, for example, I'm having an expectation from someone that I never communicated, for example. And then I'm like, okay, then this anger is not about the other person, this anger is about me, because I can't expect someone to do something without me telling that person to do or ask him to do. So
Yes.
this is a
And
very quick self-reflection, and that's where the body comes in, that to raise your awareness of your body and listen to it. And when you notice the anger, that okay, what is happening? What is the source of this emotion that is arising in my body right now? And maybe you can like, and I'm not saying don't be angry. In some cases, anger is like really necessary emotion, but you can still make a distinction that okay, is it wise now to react out of anger, or not?
yes, and I'm really glad that you said this, that I have an expectation of someone or something which I didn't communicate. for me, it's also maybe I never formed that expectation. So, I had an expectation about how the situation with the bank will go. It happened recently. We wanted to go to the bank to deal with some paperwork. And we had some holidays, like 3 days to do it. And I wanted to book an appointment. And I thought it's enough if I book an appointment a week before, and then we will go, it will be an hour, and we will take care of it, and then it's off my shoulders. There
Yeah.
was no appointment at all because they have holidays half of the month. So it's not like it's 1 week, it's half of the month. And I didn't realize that I had this expectation until I was there, frustrated that I cannot make an appointment. And here we have a free day and we cannot deal with the things we wanted. And I was really upset, obviously. So I needed to realize this, like, okay, I didn't know. Obviously, I could check before. Obviously, I could communicate with them before, figure things out. Yeah.
And again, it's not our cultural default to think about the fact that they would be on holiday for half a month. Like this is also, I am like mind blown. Like everybody I talk to, yeah, let's continue in September. I'm like, okay,
Yes.
let's continue in September because even there are holidays and yeah, summer is always slower, blah, blah, blah. People don't go on holiday for 4 or 5 weeks and you just couldn't expect that the work will be this slow during the summer.
Yes. Or anything really.
Or
I'm
anything.
trying to make some community meetings and events, and it's really hard to find the point, like a date when everyone is here
Yeah.
because, oh no, I'm traveling now, and like, okay, I guess I will meet with two people then.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you completely. I am just also working on getting okay with this chillness of the summer, and it's like a very weird situation because I just arrived, so I'm very passionate to meet and learn and build a business, all these things, but yeah, it is not the time, so.
Yes.
I either accept it or get frustrated, so I choose acceptance.
That's a great emotion or like approach to move forward.
Yeah.
We are slowly approaching the end of our time. Um, what is something which you would give as a takeaway for our listeners to build more into their life, this holistic approach, this wholeness approach?
Oh wow, it's giving advice. I feel like so many times you just invited me to give advice, and it's so much not my nature as a coach.
You can just talk about your experience, how you build it into your life.
So I would just say to ask questions from yourself, being questions, and we started with ontological coaching, and the teacher of ontological coaching, Julio Olaya, in the USA, he said that wisdom is a love affair with questions, and knowledge is a love affair with answers. So maybe this is the quote I would give as a takeaway, and to invite you to be in questions and step into the wisdom.
That was lovely. Thank you very much. I
I thank
definitely
you.
take it with me. Thank you very much for talking with me today. We will put all the information about Anita and me in the episode notes. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook. I will also have a website page for the podcast. So you can find all our informations in the notes. Thank you very much. We will meet soon. Next time I will talk with Sylvie about burnout and stress. So join us again with the Coachify podcast. Bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.